Hello everyone. Today we will be making a dress out of telephone cords. The dress is inspired by a 1940s purse using the same methods. To start, our base of the dress will be made of a 100% cotton canvas. This fabric was sourced from a non-profit organization collecting reclaimed textiles. First off is to cut all of the pieces needed for the dress. We will be stitching them together. I'm starting with stitching the skirt panels together. And you can see me try to take out a pin with gloves, which is a little bit of a challenge. We then have the skirt pieces sewn together, ready with the front and the two back pieces. Next up for sewing is a few darts in the front of the bodice. Actually, the back of the bodice, if you can believe. It'll help create a better shape. Now we are sewing the back and the front pieces together. We are also going to be finishing the edges with a bit of a hem. Because the cotton canvas is so sturdy, it doesn't need much of a seam finish. We're also stitching the sides of the bodice together, but leaving an opening for our back zipper. It is then time to stitch the bottom of the bodice to the top of the skirt. We'll also be adding a zipper in the back and finishing them up. I'm using a combination of zigzag stitches and straight stitches to get the job done. The zipper is also made of reclaimed materials. Finally, it's time to get started on the telephone cords. I've painted them to give them a bit more of a lively feel, reminiscent of the original bag. I've also taken a few inches of hem off of the bottom of the dress to give it more of a 60s silhouette, and to make up for the lack of telephone cords. I'm attaching the telephone cords using glue, since stitches weren't really enough to keep them. This is a very heavy dress, almost 14 pounds. At least that's what it feels like. I might make some other pieces with the leftover telephone cord pieces. I cut off the excess after wrapping them around the dress. Then it's time to get started on the more costume elements. I'm mixing some very old chunky red paint with a bit of newer white paint to get a sort of bubblegum pink color. This will match the morph suit color that we're going to be adding to the costume later on. Next, to cover up the eyes and ears and nose holes, I'm using a little bit of a scrap of a blue old bedsheet, cutting shapes for them and securing them into the mask with a bit of glue. And there we have it. That's our mask. The mask is a little bit hard to see out of, I will admit that. In fact, it's basically impossible, but we're ready to put the costume together. This was an interesting project, and it turned out interesting, I guess. I added a bit of a wig and some heels to complete the look. The dress itself, as previously mentioned, is very heavy, and certainly not something I think you'd want to go out for a party in. However, it is visually interesting. I'll give it that. Lots of texture. Thank you for watching.